I've always preferred Callaway clubs over Taylormade and never really found the M series drivers to work for my game. There's been a lot of hype for these newer drivers, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the Taylormade M6 and the Callaway Epic Flash driver. So what we're going to be talking about in this video are which of these drivers was longer, which ones had the most forgiveness, and then which ones I'd pick up personally. We also tried to find the cheapest place to pick them up, so we're going to be talking about that as well. If you want to enter into our gear giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment giveaway down below. Do those three things to be automatically entered. So let's start off by talking about the looks, feel, and sound of the two drivers. So the first thing I want to talk about is how the drivers look. It's not really a huge deal because it's not going to impact the performance, but a lot of people do buy clubs or shafts because of exactly how they look. Both are fairly nice, but I did like the way the M6 looked a lot more. The shape is great, I like the colors, and it gives me the most confidence looking down at it. The next thing is the way they sound at impact. Again, both are pretty solid sounding drivers, but I did prefer the way the M6 did sound. The Callaway had a bit of a high pitch sound to it at impact, while the M6 was much deeper and sounded a lot more solid. Again, this doesn't affect like performance or anything like that, but people are super picky with how their clubs do sound. The final thing is the way they feel through impact, and this is one of the main things that matters most to me because I do think it has an effect on the overall performance of your game. Having something that feels solid is going to boost your confidence on the course, and that's just going to help you improve your game a lot. But the good news here is that both of them feel really solid, and in my opinion they are too close to pick a winner, so that's actually a good thing, and I will give both of these a thumbs up for that. So let's jump over to forgiveness, and this is kind of the main thing that really matters for most of kind of your average players. Is having the most forgiveness is going to help you improve your game the most. But these drivers are suited more for your average weekend golfer, and that's why forgiveness is the most important thing in my opinion. Most golfers, they do struggle to hit the center of the face, and that's where the hooks or slice come in. So having forgiveness to help that is going to help you keep your ball in the fairway and have a decent distance no matter where you do hit the face. Both of them were supposed to have big improvements over the previous year's models, and even though they aren't going to like fix a big slice or big hook, I do think they're better than the previous generations. In saying that, I had to give the most forgiveness to the Taylormade M6. The Callaway was pretty good, but the M6 was clearly better for my game. When I mishit the ball with the Callaway, it was most likely going in the rough. There were a few times when I mishit the M6 and it still managed to hit the fairway, so I was definitely pleased with that. I'm not going to get into the science behind why that's the case, but it was pretty clear to me who the winner was. But just remember, this is coming from someone who didn't really like Taylormade drivers in the past, so they have made big improvements. I've always kind of liked Callaway over them, but with the new M6, it was pretty clear who the winner was in my mind. Alright, so let's talk about distance, and the main thing people look at with their golf clubs is how far they go. They just want to be able to, launch it long and straight down the fairway. That's kind of all they're really looking for, and it's really not going to improve their game that much, just having something that's straight distance, but everyone wants to hit it miles down the fairway, and I did find both of them to be pretty long, but I do have good news. I found the M6 to be the longest for my swing. It's probably because it flew straighter, which kept the ball in the fairway and allowed it to roll out. It wasn't like much longer, like by a long shot, but it was noticeable for sure. There were a few times when I hit the Callaway dead center and the Taylormade a bit off the toe, and they ended up going pretty much the same distance. And I do think that's going to be a huge benefit for a lot of players. It's not like a game changer or anything like that, and it's not going to fix a bad swing, but I do think it was an awesome club. But if I had to pick, and I'm sure you already know the answer, but I'm not saying the M6 is going to be better for you because a lot of people do use the Callaway and love it. The absolute best thing you can do is to try them both out for yourself and see what works for you, but I do think you'll love either of them, so you can't really go wrong in my opinion. But if you do want a bit less spin off the tee, then you can go with the M5 or the Sub-Zero option. Those are both going to give less spin compared to these two. So whatever you want, but pretty much all of them are great clubs, and I don't think you'll go wrong with either of them. I remember trying out the M6 driver when it first came out, and I wasn't really insanely impressed with it. I thought it was good, but like nothing to run out and grab. But when I actually did sit down with it and try it for a few hours, It was pretty clear that I had it wrong, and it's now become one of my favorite drivers. And if you do want to see more of my favorite drivers, I will leave a link in the description down below so you can go check that out if you want. But if you would like to see more images or reviews of any of these drivers or pick them up for the lowest price available, click the link in the description down below. At the time of making this video, that was the cheapest place I could find them, so you can go and check out the current price if you want. And if you do have any questions regarding any of them, simply leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't already commented and watched on our latest video, click the video card to the left and get yourself another entry into our golf giveaway.